Trump walked into the private reception chamber with the same confident stride that had defined his public image for decades. The lights reflected off polished surfaces, giving the entire room a warm, powerful glow. A setting chosen carefully, a place where important people said important things. Ronaldo stood from his seat as Trump approached, and the handshake between them was more than a simple greeting. It was a moment charged with intention, timing, and an understanding that this meeting was not ordinary. There was no rush in the air, only a steady rhythm of two influential figures who already knew why they were there. The small talk faded quickly. A compliment about Ronaldo's career, a warm remark about his global influence, and a few words exchanged about America's excitement to see him on U.S. soil after so many years. And then, just as naturally as breathing, Trump shifted the conversation towards something more deliberate. He leaned slightly forward, lowering his voice without making it obvious, creating a space where every word felt personal and meaningful. He spoke about the power of positive statements, the way global icons shape public mood, and how even a single comment from someone like Ronaldo could reach millions instantly. There was no pressure in his tone, only opportunity, presented with smooth confidence. That was when the offer landed. $500,000. Trump didn't say it dramatically. He didn't frame it like a transaction. He introduced it as a gesture, a goodwill appreciation for Ronaldo's global presence, a way to collaborate through simple public words. There was no script involved, no complicated instructions. Just one line he suggested Ronaldo could say during an upcoming interview or social appearance. A line meant to charm American audiences, energize supporters, and create a moment people would talk about. All Ronaldo had to say was that he loved America more than Portugal. Not in a disrespectful way, not as a permanent statement, just a short, light-hearted comment that would instantly become news. Trump spoke about how Americans admired Ronaldo, how they viewed him as a champion, a winner, a symbol of global excellence. He said a friendly comment like that would make the nation feel appreciated, especially coming from someone with Ronaldo's stature. Ronaldo listened carefully, not interrupting, not reacting too quickly. He understood the weight behind the offer. He also understood why Trump was asking. In a world where public sentiment changes fast and media runs on moments, having Ronaldo publicly favor the United States would create a wave Trump could ride. A wave of excitement, pride, and positivity. Trump wasn't asking for anything political. He wasn't asking for criticism of Portugal. He was simply asking for a moment, a spark, the kind of spark that could become a headline across every major platform within minutes. Ronaldo gave a composed smile, the kind he had perfected through years of interviews across countless countries. He responded with appreciation first, acknowledging the gesture without committing to anything. He thanked Trump for the respect, for the warmth, for the admiration shown by millions of American fans. He spoke about how America had always treated him with enthusiasm and how he admired the country's passion for sports. But he also knew that a public statement about preference carried deep meaning. America was special, but Portugal was home. And Ronaldo understood that sometimes silence, delivered with grace, was the strongest answer. Trump didn't push. He didn't insist. He simply nodded, sensing the intelligence behind Ronaldo's response. The offer remained on the table, untouched but acknowledged, floating in the space between mutual respect and strategic opportunity. Their conversation shifted to lighter topics afterward: football, future events, the excitement of global tournaments approaching soon. The energy in the room never dipped. If anything, it grew stronger, built on an understanding that they had just navigated a moment that only a handful of people in the world would ever experience. When Ronaldo finally stepped out of the room, his expression was calm, confident, and entirely in control. He had been offered something extraordinary, not because of money, but because of influence, because of the way his words could move millions. And that moment, the offer of $500,000 for a single line, became a quiet chapter in the story of two giants whose paths crossed at a time when the world watched their every step. Ronaldo stepped outside the private meeting area with the same composed confidence that had carried him through countless defining moments in his life. But the world outside wasn't quiet. Word travels fast in circles where power, fame, and global influence move together like tides, and the very fact that Trump and Ronaldo had met privately was enough to stir curiosity. Within hours, subtle whispers began circulating through media rooms, sports networks, and political circles. No one knew exactly what was said. No one had the details, but everyone could sense that something significant had happened. Conversations sparked. Analysts speculated. Commentators hinted. The meeting between a global football icon and a former U.S. president wasn't something people ignored. It was a moment destined to become its own storm, Meanwhile, Ronaldo carried himself with calm certainty. He understood what attention meant. He understood how the world reacted when two powerful figures exchanged words behind closed doors. And most importantly, he understood the value of staying ahead of the narrative. A few days later, Ronaldo appeared at a high-profile charity event, an event attended by business leaders, entertainers, and international guests. Cameras were everywhere, microphones lined up, and as soon as he stepped into the main hall, the atmosphere shifted. Everyone wanted a comment, a statement, anything that would confirm what the world was trying to figure out. But Ronaldo didn't rush into anything. He moved through the room with intention, shaking hands, posing for photos, and addressing fans with the same warmth that had made him one of the most admired athletes on the planet. His presence alone boosted the energy of the entire venue. People weren't just watching him, they were waiting for him. Finally, during a brief media interaction, one reporter stepped forward with the question everyone had been preparing. "Cristiano, people are talking about your meeting with Donald Trump. Is there something you can tell us?" The moment froze, not because of tension, but because of anticipation. Every lens turned toward him. Every microphone tilted closer. Every viewer watching from home leaned in. Ronaldo smiled. Not a forced smile. Not a defensive one. A confident, charismatic smile that instantly took control of the situation. He spoke with ease. He said that the meeting was respectful, that Trump expressed admiration for his career, that they discussed sports, global culture, and the power of positivity. He didn't reveal too much, but he revealed enough to keep the story alive, the perfect balance between clarity and mystery. Then he delivered a line that instantly became the headline of the night. "I appreciate every country that has shown me love. Portugal will always be my home, and America has always welcomed me with open arms. Fans everywhere are incredible. That's what matters." It was a master move. It respected Portugal, it acknowledged America, it avoided controversy. And it made viewers feel the warmth they wanted to hear. Within minutes, social media lit up. Fans reposted the quote. Commentators praised his diplomacy. Clips of his response went viral across platforms. It was exactly the kind of moment that transforms a rumor into a global conversation without letting anyone twist the story. Meanwhile, Trump's advisors monitored the reaction closely. They noted the public's excitement, the positive reception, the surge of attention. They knew Ronaldo's words carried weight, maybe even more weight than they expected. Even without the exact line Trump had pitched, the interview generated momentum, buzz, and a renewed fascination with the connection between two massive figures. Behind the scenes, both camps kept their communications open. Not because of pressure, but because both sides understood the value of staying connected during a time when the world was watching every move. Ronaldo, however, remained fully in control. He chose every word carefully. He shaped his narrative with precision. And he made it clear, in the most respectful way, that while offers, meetings, and conversations come and go, his identity and loyalty were never something he would trade. But the story was far from over. New discussions were happening. New voices were entering the scene, and the next chapter would reveal a powerful twist neither side had expected. As the media continued replaying Ronaldo's statement from the charity event, something unexpected began to unfold behind the curtains of global politics. The clip wasn't just circulating among fans. It had reached diplomatic circles, business networks, and even Saudi leadership. The reaction was immediate, and it was louder than anyone anticipated. Across the world, analysts were dissecting every syllable. Why had Ronaldo balanced his answer so strategically? Why choose that exact moment to respond? Why did Trump invite him in the first place? With each passing hour, the conversation grew. People didn't just want answers. They wanted the truth behind the connection. Meanwhile, in Riyadh, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman watched the rising storm with calm interest. Ronaldo wasn't just a footballer under his investment. He was a global communication asset. And his appearance beside Trump had worked in ways even the prince's advisors didn't expect. The White House visit painted a new shade on MBS's image across Western media. Something powerful, something influential. But now, something even more unexpected was happening. American political strategists were realizing that Ronaldo's influence wasn't limited to sports. He had the ability to shift public narrative instantly. It became clear that if Ronaldo chose to speak again, the impact would be enormous. As all this was unfolding, Ronaldo was back to training with Al Nassr. On the pitch, his focus remained razor-sharp, but his inner circle knew something important. Requests for follow-up comments, Q&A invites, and TV appearances were pouring in from US networks. Everyone wanted him on their show. Everyone wanted the next headline. But Ronaldo wasn't rushing. He understood the value of timing. Saying too much could tilt the balance. Saying too little could let others shape the story for him, so he stayed patient. Until a call arrived that shifted the direction entirely. It wasn't from Trump. It wasn't from media. It was from one of America's most powerful entertainment executives. A man controlling networks, streaming platforms, and major broadcasts. He wanted Ronaldo for a special televised interview, the kind watched by millions across the world. Not just American viewers, global viewers. The message was clear. This isn't politics. This is legacy. Let us tell your story. Ronaldo listened carefully. Television wasn't new to him. But this offer wasn't ordinary. It promised the perfect stage. One where he could speak about his journey, his return to America, his ambitions, his future, and if he chose, the meeting with Trump. But before giving an answer, Ronaldo consulted the one person whose guidance had become crucial in these moments, the media strategist hired by Al Nasser for high-level international PR. The advisor reviewed every angle of the offer, the risks, the advantages, the timing. Then came the conclusion. This interview could define the narrative. If you do it, you control the story. If you don't, others will. Ronaldo nodded, fully aware that a single sentence in a primetime interview could ripple across nations. He agreed, but on one condition. He would not be asked to declare any country better than another. He would not be used for political endorsement. And he would not read lines crafted for headlines. He would speak as Cristiano Ronaldo, the man, the athlete, the global figure. The network accepted instantly. Within hours, news leaked. Ronaldo set for major U.S. television appearance. The entire internet erupted. Was this the moment he would reveal what Trump offered? Would he address the $500,000 rumor? Would he talk about America versus Portugal? Speculation exploded across sports channels, political talk shows, fan groups, and social platforms. And the intrigue only grew larger because the interview was scheduled to air just days after his White House visit. When the world was still hungry for answers, Ronaldo's team began preparing wardrobe, talking points, media protocols. Travel logistics. Every detail was being crafted to perfection. But what no one knew, not even the network, was that Ronaldo was planning to reveal something far more surprising than any rumor. Something about his future. Something that would shake both American audiences and the football world. And when he finally sat down on that interview chair, under bright studio lights, the entire world would be waiting for his next words. The moment was coming. And it was bigger than Trump. Bigger than Portugal versus America. Bigger than any rumor ever suggested. The studio was buzzing long before Ronaldo arrived. Camera crews moved with practiced precision. Producers whispered into headsets. And technicians made last-second adjustments to ensure that everything was perfect. This wasn't an ordinary interview. This was primetime television in the United States. And every second mattered. A wave of energy swept through the building when Ronaldo stepped inside. Not because he demanded attention, but because his presence naturally carried it. The crew straightened up. The director nodded with approval. Even the host paused mid-sentence as he caught sight of him. Ronaldo walked with calm assurance, dressed sharp, composed, focused. He wasn't here to play into rumors or to let anyone twist his words. He was here to deliver exactly what he wanted the world to hear. Nothing more, nothing less. The host greeted him with a firm handshake. Cristiano, thank you for being here. America has been waiting. Ronaldo smiled. It's good to be back. The cameras rolled. The lights intensified. The signal went live to millions of viewers across the US, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. A broadcast powerful enough to shift conversations globally. The interview opened gently, touching on his career, his training, his achievements. Everything was smooth. Everything was controlled. Then the host leaned in, ready for the moment the world was waiting for. Cristiano, your recent visit to the White House created headlines everywhere. People want to know, what was that meeting really about? A hush fell across the studio. Viewers at home leaned forward. Social media lit up instantly. Ronaldo sat upright, his expression steady, confident. Ready? It was a respectful meeting, he said. We talked about sports, inspiration, and the importance of creating opportunities for young people. That's the truth. It was the perfect answer. Elegant, powerful, and guaranteed to replay across every sports channel and political panel for days. But the host wasn't done. There's also a rumor going around that Trump offered you $500,000 to say you prefer America over Portugal. People want clarity. Is there anything you'd like to say about it? This was the moment. The viral spark. The question designed to break the internet. Ronaldo didn't flinch. He didn't hesitate. He simply smiled, the type of confident smile that signals complete control. "Let me make something clear," he said. "I don't take money to choose one country over another. I respect the USA. I respect Portugal. My love for my home is not for sale, and my respect for other nations is genuine. No one pays me for my heart." The studio went silent. The host blinked, surprised not by the words, but by the strength behind them. It was the quote of the night, the kind of statement that would echo for weeks. But Ronaldo wasn't finished. He leaned slightly forward, as if ready to shift the entire interview into a new direction. "There's something more important," he continued, "something I've been thinking about for a long time, and since I'm here, this is the right moment to share it." The host's eyes widened. The control room erupted with signals. Producers gestured wildly. They could sense that something massive was coming. Ronaldo took a measured breath. "I've spent my life playing the sport I love, in countries all around the world, and now I'm working on something bigger, something for the future, a project that involves Portugal, America, and the global game." The host leaned closer. "A project? What kind of project?" Ronaldo continued slowly, letting anticipation take over homes across the world. "A global academy initiative," he said. "Not just football training, but leadership, education, opportunities for young athletes everywhere. I want to build something that lasts longer than goals and trophies." The studio reacted with awe. Fans online exploded with excitement. Even political analysts were stunned. Ronaldo had taken control of the global narrative with a single interview. And just as the host prepared to ask the next question, a message buzzed inside the control room. A message from a major sports network requesting an exclusive follow-up appearance. The world wanted more, and Ronaldo had only just begun revealing his next era. If you want to stay ahead of every twist, every reveal, every major moment shaping the world of sports and power, you already know where to be. Subscribe to WSN World Sports News, and don't miss what's coming next.